having a great time here at the Castro Cabin at Deetjen's. I'd like everyone to know we are not affiliated with Taylor Swift. Sorry. What are we doing? We're going to go have a lovely breakfast at the restaurant here attached to Deetjen's. I don't know what it's called.
It's called the restaurant at Deetjen's.
It's called the restaurant at Deetjen's. My associate's been telling me that it's called the restaurant at Deetjen's.
And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a cup of black coffee for free.
It seriously smells so good.
Yeah. There's some big trees out here. Look at that one.
Wow.
Yeah, look at this. That's one tree.
Once upon a time, there was a lovely princess.
Kitty.
I stopped being cute when the camera was turned on. Now I'm being nasty. Ow, God. Look at my arm. From making biscuits.
Right now, We're on the porch with the lodge kitty, and a lot of people are very curious about the lodge kitty. Right now, the cat is doing this. Just a whole lot of licking and sucking and biting.
Look at its little evil tail.
Its tail's flickering with ecstasy. But here we are. There's some people talking. They are being loud. They don't know that filming is taking place right now.
Kitty, can you be cute again?
The kitty is still licking its butthole with increasing anger. Bye, vlog.
Still going at it. Hi guys, so we got back a couple of days ago from our trip and I've accumulated a little pile of goodies that I collected while we were gone, and then today we went on a walk and accidentally went into Barnes and Nobles and I bought 5 books when I went in for 1 book. So whoopsies, but I just wanted to show all my little trinkets that I've collected so that I can disperse them around the house. I guess I'll start with from the trip. Before we got to Big Sur, we stopped in a city called Monterey, and it's really cute there. My husband and I had been there before, back in 2019. I think that was our first trip that we went on together. Anyway, there was a really cute store that we saw, and it had like some handmade goods and a lot of hand sewn goods, which was cool. It was really strange because as soon as we walked in, 2 of the workers started having like a full-on argument. and I couldn't quite figure out what they were arguing about. I think like one of them was getting more hours than the other one, but it was like really intense to the point that they like stepped outside and were arguing outside of the store. And I was so uncomfortable. Like I really wanted to just leave, but my husband was like, no, we're staying. This is too good. We did end up getting some things there. Some of it is a gift, so I'm not going to unwrap all that. But they had this little bag, and I really liked the art and the colors, and I feel like this is a good little lunch bag. So that was interesting. That'll always remind me of listening to that argument. And like at first my husband was like, oh, they're gossiping, and I was like, oh no, he hasn't caught on yet. And it was to the point where like one of them was like, I remember every conversation I've ever had. I went down and I wrote down word for word every single thing that you said. And the other lady's like, no, I remember every conversation I've ever had since the 70s and da da da. It was wild. I think it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Anyway, and then in Monterey there is also a bookstore / cafe called, wait, let me look it up. The Bookworks, and it's actually in Pacific Grove, which to me seemed very similar to Big Sur, to Monterey, but I'm sure for people who are from there, it's all very different. Bookworks was really cute. It was a cafe and a bookstore. Pretty small for like the bookstore. We were about to go to lunch, so we didn't get anything from the cafe, but it seemed nice. I ended up getting 2 books and the seller low-key roasted me a little bit about getting Twilight, but she was kind of into it at the same time, I could tell. I've really been wanting to reread Twilight, and I feel like kind of an idiot because they just released that 10-year anniversary of Twilight that I was wanting to buy. So why did I get this? That's okay though. Ooh, and we get a little bookmark. I like adding my bookmarks to my bookmark collection. Before I found Twilight, I was actually having a hard time finding anything I wanted to buy at all, to the point that I was like trying to get my husband to buy a book just so we could buy something. And I saw this and I've wanted to read this, so I picked this up. I'm pretty sure this is about a group of, a group of assassins, but now they're 60 years old. They wanted to retire. They get sent on like some big trip and then someone's almost killed or something. It's not very long. I feel like this book pops up a lot, so it'll probably be a good read. So those are my 2 books from the trip. My husband and I, when we remember, we like to get magnets from places we've gone. So we got a Bigfoot. Is it supposed to be Bigfoot? I think it's kind of funny that any kind of mountainy, foresty place you go, they'll have merch with Bigfoot on it. I don't know. I think that's silly. And then we got a banana slug, and I really wanted to see a banana slug when we were there, and I didn't, and that was sad. I've seen them before, but it was a long time ago. And then we ate at Nepenthe, which is very famous in Big Sur, and there's like a little gift shop attached to Nepenthe, and I got some candles. I got these 3 taper candles. I think they were just $4 each, and they're handmade in Denmark. Also in Big Sur, I got some stickers to include in my junk journal entry from our trip. This was also at the little shop I got those candles. It's just a little card, and I really liked the artwork. So I kind of like picking up things like that and just having cards on hand. At another little store we stopped at, just driving along the one, I found these little cards, and I also liked the art on these. And then the final thing I got in Monterey at the thrift store that we stopped at, I'm sure I put in a lot of clips from that because it was so cool. Honestly, one of the best antique or thrift stores that I think I've ever been to, and it was huge, and the prices they could have been worse. Like, it was better than I expected. It wasn't cheap. Huge fan. Would love to go back. Would have loved to spend way more time there, but we were running out of time on our meter. And this was like on our drive back home. And I wanted to make sure we could pick up Rizzo from her boarding stay. So we were running out of time and needed to go. But something I've been looking for a long time is a nice, pretty tray to put across my bathroom sink when I'm getting ready to like put my makeup on or whatever. Our bathroom is tiny and there's actually no counter. It's just a sink. So this was kind of expensive, but I absolutely love it. So I think this was $50 almost. It's from 1988, hand painted metal. And I want to try to hang it up in the bathroom so that it's in there as a piece of art, and then I can take it off the wall and put it on the sink whenever I want to use it. So I'm excited to do that. That's everything from our trip itself, and then I'll just show you my cheeky little book haul from earlier today. Now that I think about it, I actually have quite a few books that I have not showed you guys. And this is really bad of me because I have not been reading much at all lately. Right now I'm reading Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and it's kind of breaking my reading slump, which is good. I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it's all that I want to do. So it's not so much that I read something that caused a reading slump, it's just outside forces. Anyway, I'm really liking Bury Our Bones. I almost skipped my credit for October because nothing was really like catching my eye. But at the last second, I was like, what am I doing? I love horror anthologies, and my husband actually also does as well. So I figured we'll probably both read this. And it's cool. It's like their anniversary edition, and the cover I thought was pretty cool. So this was my October pick, One Bad Night and Other Stories. And then in September, I picked 2 books. And I think that there was actually a couple books in September that I had really wanted. So I got A Land So Wide by Aaron A. Craig. This is supposed to be like dark, atmospheric, foresty vibes. I don't even remember what the story was about. I pretty much just saw the author's name and was like, oh, I'm getting that. So excited to read this. That seems like a good book to read on a rainy, stormy night. And then I also got You Weren't Meant to Be Human. This is by Andrew Joseph White. This I think is a little bit grosser. Alien invasion in rural West Virginia. So that was my other aardvark pick. And then these are my 3 from today. I mean 5. I went in there for 1 book and left with 5 books. Fang Fiction by Kate Stayman London. I wouldn't say that I have super high expectations. I think this one is supposed to be pretty silly. I think she like gets pulled. Yeah, the world of your favorite fantasy is real. Fantasy novels is real, and you're invited to visit. The only catch, it's filled with thirsty vampires. I would be there. Yeah, I don't know. Seems silly and fun. I was going to get Hungerstone, but they only have the hardcover, and I don't really feel like spending $30. Plus, I don't love reading hardcover books. I know that I have multiple in front of me, but if I can avoid it, I do. So anyway, I swapped Hungerstone for Lucy Undying. This is another vampire book. A vampire escapes the thrall of Dracula and embarks on her own search for self-discovery and true love in this epic, seductive, gothic fantasy. Ugh, that sounds incredible. Beautiful. A Dracula novel. Yes, please. And then, I've seen this book so many times, and I don't know why I've never bought it. Like, Dracula and Edward Gorey. I love Edward Gorey. I grew up, my mom had like multiple of his books, and it's just very nostalgic to me. And something in my head clicked today, and I was like, oh, I can just own that book. I've also never read Dracula, which is crazy. So this is a very exciting purchase. That's my third vampire book from today. And then this I have seen before and didn't pick it up last time, but this time I couldn't resist. Okay, I'll just read this small part. The tale begins with Agnes. After losing her baby, Agnes is called to the great manor house to nurse the local lord's baby boy. But something is wrong with the child. His nails grow too fast, his skin smells of soil, and his eyes remind her of the dark forest. As he grows into a boy, then into a man, a plague seems to follow him everywhere. Trees wither at the roots, fruits rot on their branches, and the town turns against him. That sounds good. And I love the cover. Yes, exciting. And then my very last book, I had never seen this before. My husband pointed out the cover and I read the back and I immediately was like, oh, I am buying this. I'll just read this little blurb instead of the whole synopsis. On its face, Herculaine is an almost prototypical novel about a young trans woman trying to make it in New York. But with each new nasty revelation, Byron pulls you deeper into a world of paranoid, self-annihilating horror. Yeah. If that sounds interesting, you should look up the synopsis. I hate reading out loud, so I will not be reading it to you, but I immediately picked it up and decided to purchase it. That is the end of my little collection of goodies. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a subscribe. Ooh, I've never said that before. I said it wrong. If you liked my video, please subscribe. If you want to see more and stick around, I would appreciate it so much. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.